Hello everyone, and welcome to today's how-to video. Today we're going to be talking about how to download a virtual machine, in this case Kali Linux, on a Mac OS system. So in my specific case it's a MacBook Pro. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just get started. So I've already pulled up the two websites that we're going to be needing to use today. The first one we want to go to is virtualbox.org, so www.virtualbox.org, and as I said before, we're using an OS system, so we're going to go ahead and click on OS X hosts. And I've already downloaded this image, so we're going to go ahead and just close this, and we're going to click on this .dmg file that we downloaded right here. Once this opens up, you can go ahead and double click on virtualbox.package, and this will run the installer. Once that is opened, you want to go ahead and click continue. Click continue again, install, and if you're prompted with a password, go ahead and type that in. Okay, as you can see, the installation was successful. We can go ahead and close this now. You can move this to the trash, and we'll close out of this one more time, and we'll close out of here as well. Now we want to go to our second website, which is going to be www.kali.org/downloads, or you can go to just www.kali.org and come here and go to download Kali Linux. In our case, we're going to be downloading the Kali Linux 64-bit HTTP download. So under download right here, we're going to click HTTP. Again, in our case, we've already downloaded it for the sake of time. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and open VirtualBox. Okay, so now that we have the VirtualBox Manager open, we can go ahead and click on New. And we're going to type in Kali Linux. Under version, we want to change this to Ubuntu 64-bit. And this is the section that may vary from user to user depending on the machine that you're running. So in my case, I have 8 gigs of RAM. So I'm going to allocate around 4 gigs of RAM, or 4096 megabytes. So this will depend on how much RAM you have on your machine, but you're going to want to stay away from this orange and red area as a general rule. So we're going to go ahead and click create now, leave it on this setting right here. And again, as a general rule, you want to put around 20 gigs for the file size. This is the memory or storage that you'll be able to use to save stuff in your virtual machine. So we're going to go ahead and click create, leave everything the same. Okay, and now once we've done that, we can go ahead and go to settings. We can go to storage, and under this controller IDE, we want to select empty. Then click this CD icon over here to the right and select choose virtual optical disk file. So in our case, we want to go to downloads because that's where the .iso file is. Right here, we want to find that. So we're going to go to downloads, select this ISO file, the Kali Linux AMD64.iso, click open. Okay, and this is essentially just the file that holds the operating system, and it will tell the virtual machine where to boot from. So we're going to go ahead and click, actually let's do one more thing here. We can go to system and click on processor. So again, this will depend from user to user depending on the computer you're using, the physical computer you're using. So in my case, I have 2 CPUs, so I can go ahead and put this right here. But again, you're either not going to be able to move it any further than this, or it will really impede on the operating speed of both the virtual machine and your standard operating system, which in this case would be the Mac OS. So we're going to leave this and go ahead and click OK. And once we have done that, we can go ahead and click on start to boot up our virtual machine. Now, as you can see here, the virtual machine is booted up, and the screen size is really small. The window size is really small. Don't worry about this right now. We will change this later, and we will make it a much more pleasant experience. We'll make it a full screen virtual machine. That way it looks seamless. For right now, let's go ahead and hit enter on live AMD 64. And that'll go ahead and get the virtual machine set up. Okay, so we can now see that our virtual machine has booted up. One quick fix, just to make this a little easier when we're maneuvering through our settings, is if we go to View and just do virtual screen 125%. That'll make it a little bigger for now. And we can go to Settings now in the top right, and then click on this Settings button on the bottom left. So once that's up, we can go into Devices, all the way at the bottom, click on Resolution, and this will vary again on what screen you have on your computer, but in my case it's 1680 by 1015, so that is going to be right here, 1610, and we're going to hit Apply. We're going to hit Keep Changes. And it looks funky right now, but if we go ahead and close this and then go up to View and hit Full Screen Mode, go ahead and click Switch, and then go back up here, hit View again, Virtual Screen, and do Scale to 200% Auto Scaled Output. And there you have it, a Kali Linux virtual machine with a full screen. And if we just swipe to the right with 3 fingers on our Mac OS, now we're running on Mac OS over here. And if we swipe to the left, we're running Kali Linux. So it's very seamless, and they're both full screen operating systems, which makes it much easier when you're trying to work on projects and test things out. So without further ado, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.